Good. Hello and welcome to Sunday Brunch Live. I'm Tim Lovejoy.
I'm Simon Rimmer.
And that was the Riot Jazz Brass Band, who will be hearing more of later on in the show. Joining us this morning are Carl Pilkington, property guru Sarah Beanie, tenor Alfie Boe, comedian Josh Widdicombe and adventurer Steve Backshaw. How are you all this morning?
Good.
Awake now.
According to my notes, Carl Pilkington is a jazz connoisseur. Is that true? No. OK. Oh, no, apparently you bought a CD once with some jazz songs.
No, I've got a load of... it's when I was writing my book. That's out now. And I just wanted some music whilst you're writing, and I find that if you have songs and people are singing and that, you're focusing on that.
Right.
So I downloaded one of them cheap ones. You get like 1,000 songs for about $4.99.
Yeah. And I had jazz on it.
Yeah, it's just jazz.
Just jazz.
Just jazz.
Is everyone else into jazz? Alfie, you must be into a bit of jazz.
No.
OK, this is going well. Simon, over to you. Jazz.
Love a bit of jazz.
Josh, jazz.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't a fan, but they've got massive instruments, they could beat me up if I said I didn't enjoy it.
Exactly. Right. Now, the big news this week is, this weekend for TV is I'm a Celebrity is back on tonight. Will you be watching?
See, it's good to see who's going in, isn't it?
Yeah? Who's going in? I'm going to tell you who's going in. Who's going in is Joey Essex.
He's a favourite, isn't he?
Rebecca Adlington's going in, Matthew Wright's going in, Amy Willerton's going in.
Okay.
You know Amy.
She's Miss Universe. I didn't think they did Miss Universe anymore. Steve Davis is going in. Who else have we got?
Alfonso Ribeiro, who was Colton in Fresh Prince, who I think will win. He's my tip.
I think Rebecca Adlington.
Is it a very different competition, Miss World to Miss Universe?
I don't know.
You have to win Miss World to qualify for Miss Universe. It's like the Champions League. That's how it works.
Okay.
Mr. Universe is a bodybuilding competition.
Yeah, I assume Miss Universe is bodybuilding, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hasn't she
So it's bigger.
done her things? Yeah, I don't know. I assume so.
Because she'll win then, definitely, won't she?
Massive guns.
What, the bikini factor, you think, he says? Is that what you think?
Yeah, no, I'm thinking she's going to be really strong.
I'm backing Steve Davis. On the bikini factor reason. I think Steve Davis, he's quite funny, he's nice, he's calm. It'll be Steve Davis, trust me.
People love him, don't they?
People love Steve Davis.
He was playing when I was about 10.
Yeah.
So he must be...
Well, he's
knocking
not
on
going in
it.
the jungle to play.
Oh. Really? Oh.
He's not playing Jimmy White.
And your challenge, Steve, is...
Trick shot.
You'd find it too easy going in the jungle, wouldn't you?
Well, I guess I spend probably 6 weeks to 6 months of every year in the jungle anyway, although we film the animals rather than eating them.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine that they'd ask me, really.
No.
Plus, nobody knows who I am as well. That probably wouldn't help.
It's cruel, that. I don't think it's cruel. That's the thing I don't like about it.
Some of it is,
Eating
yeah, for
worms.
sure.
Just eating, all the grubs and that.
Oh, I thought you meant on the celebrities.
No, I'm not, honestly not bothered about them.
It's cruel eating the bugs.
Just, what have they done wrong? I don't want to bring the tone down, it seems like really serious now, but I just think... Still, some of them
Yeah,
are more used to the planet than some of the people on that list. Again, I'm not having a go, I don't even know some of them. But the thing is, I'm just a big insect fan. So, and I'll spend time... I would rather watch an insect than some of them.
Yeah, but if you're eating pork, you're killing an animal, so it's an insect. You've been...
You don't usually
it's the
eat
way-
a pig
it's the way-
alive, though, do you?
Pardon?
Yeah.
You don't usually eat a pig live.
No,
It's just
but you eat oysters live.
They're delicious. That's
true.
I was cleaning the windows the other day, and there's a lot of snails about at the moment because it's damp, isn't it? And I lifted the sash window up, and there was a little mini snail there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever witnessed it, but I don't know the right phrase to use for it, but it was getting rid of its waste.
Right. Yeah.
You see it going through its body. You can actually see it. And before I moved it, before I cleaned the windows, I thought I'll let it finish. Yeah. that is how nice I am to
You are a
insects.
compassionate
I'm
man.
really, honestly, I'm not making it up. I'm really I've never killed anything on purpose.
Have you seen Turbo?
This isn't court.
Brilliant. OK, now we've got two of the biggest moaners on the show today, if that's fair. You know, yourself, Josh, because your stand-up is about moaning.
It is. That's all I've... Yeah, that's what I do for a living.
And your programme is called The Moaning of Life, even though you told me earlier you don't moan.
I think as much as everyone else, everybody likes a moan. It's when you feel most alive.
Cathartic, isn't it? Yeah.
I think it's British people. We love a moan. So we're looking for moans today. Anyone, Alfie, have you got a moan? What do you want?
Getting up this morning, I was moaning a little bit.
How good is it, mornings?
Really.
I've got to say that when we were in script meetings this morning, Tim did actually say, I don't think I've got any moans. And he genuinely said that in our script meeting. Now, you all know Tim quite well.
I don't know. I then ended up moaning throughout the whole... Sarah, you got a moan?
Yeah, do you know, there's one thing that really annoys me, it's always annoyed me a lot, and that's people on the tube who stand up before it stops. You know, when you come into the station and it's nearly there, and they're sitting there, and they get up and they're kind of going, excuse me, and then they fall over on you, and you think there's masses of time to take 3 steps when it goes, you know, it pulls and it goes like that, and then stops. And then they can stand up and they can walk, not stand up just before and then sit on you.
This is the kind of thing I can get on board with.
Thank you. Does that not make
Simon,
sense
have
to
you
you?
got
Well, mine is a change in internet shopping. It used to be when you shop on the internet, this is brilliant, click buy. Now all of a sudden they want to sell you more things. You can't just simply buy anything anymore. Have you considered everything? I don't want that. It's like in the old days when you were buying shoes, they'd actually buy cleaner. I don't want it. On earth want to buy cleaner or not. And now the internet
You
does
can
it.
say no.
Yeah, but I want the internet to be fast.
OK, we want your moans. Rachel in Liverpool hates when people just stop in front of you for no reason.
Yeah,
and see them on the street. Karen in Hampshire hates people who whistle tunes that aren't real. How do you know they're not real? They might be a composer.
Yeah, exactly.
Judith in Crawley hates putting the washing in the machine, turning round and seeing a rogue sock on the floor.
Yeah.
Is that a bad one? All right, so get your moans sent in, your everyday moans, along with a picture of your grumpiest face as well. We would like a picture with your moan, and then you'll get on the show. If you don't send a picture, you're not getting the show. Send it to at Sunday Brunch C4 or sundaybrunch@channel4.com. What food are we making today?
So, we're starting off, Alfie is in the kitchen first of all, and we're doing posh beans on toast. So it's a kind of a barbecue-y style bean, so it's quite smoky, big kind of flavour, perfect for a chilly November morning. That's nice, isn't it? And then Carl, I know you're not a big fish fan, but we're going to cook fish, obviously. So we're going to do a blackened tuna salad. So there's some beautiful kind of marinade there.
Good.
Char it. It's a spicy salad, so it will kind
That
of
doesn't
wake
look
you
like
up.
fish, does it? It looks...
Yeah, it looks very steaky. So we can pretend. And then Tim, you and I making a chicken pie again. It's winter, it's the best time of year for food. And then Josh, you're finally in the kitchen with us, and we make old school Swiss roll with raspberries and some marshmallows in there. Look, that's proper, isn't it? That's good. And of course, in addition to me, we've got a proper chef as well. Bryn Williams is in the kitchen today, making magnificent roast rib of beef with seps, which I had a taste before, and that is. The disappointing thing is when I see that, like I'm doing 4 dishes there, look at that and I think, whatever, mine are all right.
If it was top trumps, Bryn's just
Bryn
won.
has just won, without a shadow of a doubt.
All right, as well as that, on today's show, Steve Backshaw is telling us about his latest jungle adventures, and he's brought in a few of his friends along as well for us to see. Plus, one of the biggest groups of 2013, Rudimental, will be joining us for a chat and a performance later on the show.
Yeah, after the break, as we said, we're in the kitchen with Alfie. See you soon.
Welcome back to Sunday Brunch Live. We're here cooking with tenor Alfie Boe. How is your cooking these days?
It's brilliant. My chopping skills have improved since
Yes.
last time I was on.
Yeah. Good.
I've been practicing.
And have you been
I
doing
can
a lot
cut
of...
a carrot in half now.
Oh, good.
It's brilliant.
Good. Have you been doing a lot of cooking?
I have, yeah. I love to cook. It sort of relaxes me, you know. It's sort of forget everything that's going on and just get in the kitchen and make a mess, really.
Yeah.
Tastes awful, but
It's the prep that's quite relaxing.
Yeah.
So when you're chopping it all and stuff like that. I tend now when I cook to do it like I'm on a TV show, so I will get out saucers and
Cameras.
plates and things. I get camera crew in. I invite some celebrities round. And, I get little, and I'll do it like that. So I'll have all the ingredients lined up, ready to go. And a little bit more washing up, but I think that's a good way of doing it.
But in reality, I mean, you know, obviously you wouldn't necessarily put them in fancy containers, but if you do actually get all your ingredients out before you start cooking, it does make your cooking easier. Because if you start, say for example, cooking something like this and you miss one of the ingredients, and then you've got to hunt round in the cupboard. Yeah. This is me hunting in the cupboard in case you wonder what that was.
I forgot the turkey. Yeah, I forgot the turkey.
Yeah, exactly.
I got that out.
Is that the international sign language for searching the cupboard?
Searching the cupboard, yeah. This is unless it's a low cupboard, then it's that.
Okay. Not get confused with milking a cow.
No. You're very, very careful. Or a goat which is slightly smaller.
But what I also do with what Simon does is he
See you later, fellas.
Probably best. To be honest, Alfie, it's probably best. Just leave us to our own devices. It gets like this more and more every week.
It does. Right, let's carry on.
What you also do, I'm intrigued now. What you also do, you start to
fry off the onions and then put them to one side. Whereas never do that years ago. You fry the onions, you put the meat in, do that.
Yeah.
Simon fries the onions, puts them to one side, then does the meat, and then adds them together. And I tend to do that now.
That's good. That's good. Well, we're doing beans on toast, really. So
8 years of musical training to make beans on toast.
Yeah, exactly.
We did a cheese sandwich a while ago, and that kind of managed to kind of run over on time. So this will be quite interesting. But basically, it's about the beans, whether they're on toast or whether you kind of serve them with some sausages or pork chop, whatever you fancy kind of doing. So what we've got some onion cooking away in the pan. As many dishes start with an onion, butter. We've got some treacle, cardamom pods. We've got soft dark brown sugar, tomato ketchup, cannellini beans, butter beans, a little bit of sherry vinegar, and we've got some mustard. So it's a very simple principle. But what you need is a good base of flavour. So we gently cook these onions, and that's the key. We all do onions in the wrong way most of the time. So we tend to have, and I bet you're the same, Alfie. Yeah. You put them on high heat, put the oil in the pan, put the onions in, stir, and then you're done. If you slow it down, then you'll get a little bit of natural sugar coming out.
They go much softer and...
and there's a sweeter flavour. Because sometimes, you know, you get that still slightly sort of ammonia kind of flavour of an onion, so you don't want that. Right, Alfie, come round here. This is now all about slow and low. So we pop in our cardamom pods, so we've got a little bit of flavour there. Brilliant. And we sprinkle in, put all the sugar into there, and then just give it a little stir so it begins to melt, really. This is going to be a base. I mean, if you're in a hurry, then you could actually just chuck all this in a pan. But if the slower you do it, then the nicer the depth of the flavour is.
How slow?
That's good.
That is
good. Yeah. That's very good.
Don't want to go any faster than that.
You know, that's a good stance, actually, isn't it?
It's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, power stance.
I like that stance. It's good.
Just checking him out one time.
You have been practicing.
I've been practicing, man.
Did you play the
See
drums?
me do that with a knife.
Did you play the drums?
I do, yes.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Look at me, that's the international sign language, playing the
You're
drums.
brilliant with the sign language one.
Or the maracas.
I thought that was
a little bit
goats
higher.
again, wasn't it? Yeah, no, I've been playing since I was about 12.
We need a break, Tim. You know, we do need a break. Right, so Alfie, as that starts to melt, then we add our treacle. So this is now going to give us more depth. You know, these aren't like, you know, beans out of a tin. This isn't kind of a tomato-based one. This is doing a really big, deep flavour. But
What's
I think
that you put in there?
Treacle.
Treacle.
Yeah, treacle.
Treacle.
A good British ingredient. So we stir that around. So what you're getting is nice flavour. Now, we've got the heat on quite high, but the nicest way to do this is to just let it cook nice and slowly. Or as I say, if you're on a rush, you can just lob it all in together. What we've got, of course, is sweetness there. You've got the sweetness from the sugar, you've got the sweetness from the treacle. So then we need to start going a little bit acidic so it balances. So we add mustard.
All right.
Alfie, how's the voice at the moment?
It's all right, yeah. I'm singing a lot, doing a lot, but you just have to keep on top of it, make sure that you're not eating things like beans on toast.
What was that last thing? Just
that was a little bit of sherry vinegar, but whatever vinegar you've got, if all you've got in your cupboard is malt vinegar, use malt vinegar.
Alfie, how long can you hold a note for?
I don't know. I've never really. Is this another embarrassing thing that you
Well, we thought we'd give it a go. We thought we'd give it...
You asked me to do like the loudest note. And then
yes.
I beat you, didn't I?
Yeah.
Did he?
You've got to try it. If I do the longest note, you've got to do it as well.
Okay. All right. Simon's actually got a half-decent voice. All that singing on the cop all those years.
Exactly.
Show tunes on the cop. It's a show tune, isn't it? It's a show tune.
We do it at home as well. My mum sings at home all the time.
Show tunes.
Oh,
show tunes.
Non-stop.
OK, so...
What's the longest? 1 minute 45.
Is it?
1:43.
1:43?
Seriously?
You'll suffocate. Right, OK, so we got...
You doing it as well, Tim?
We got... No, I'm not doing it.
It doesn't have to be loud.
No, we've got a stopwatch, so when you start, we'll start that, apparently.
OK, you ready, Alfie?
All right, so it doesn't have to be a loud note, just a real...
Doesn't have to be loud.
Doesn't have to be loud.
It just has to be...
The quieter, the...
quality.
The longer you do. Okay.
Can I count you down?
Yeah.
I'm going to do 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, go. One of these notes is not actually nice to the ears, is it? You can't like... Yeah. Yeah, well done, Simon. You've got 17 seconds. That did start a second late, though, so... I'm going to give you 27 seconds there because it started late.
So 143? Because when I saw that, I was thinking that doesn't sound like a load. 143.
No, that's ridiculous.
That's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
How long do they hold their breath when they dive underwater? That's minutes, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a couple
Yeah.
of minutes.
But I suppose then you're not doing anything other than holding your breath as opposed to expelling air. You're trying to retain it, aren't you? That must make it easy.
I don't know how they
Glad
do
I
it.
didn't have to sing it underwater. That would have been...
Right.
Where
are we with this?
We were both poor on that, Alfie. So it's been a good start again for you, hasn't
brilliant,
it, mate?
yeah. It is still early.
So here's what we've got. So now we've got all those lovely flavours. We've got mustard, we've got tomato ketchup, we've got sherry vinegar, we've got treacle, we've got 2 cans of beans, and it's lovely. Okay.
Yeah.
And then all you want to do is just let this gently bubble away. You want this to get nice and sweet in there.
What are these ones called again?
There's a butter beans.
Butter beans,
But what we've got, because we've got a little bit of vinegar in there, then that's going to keep it, just give it that little bit of edge to it.
Right.
And as it cooks, just add a drop of water as you go, so you get the right consistency. Now,
Alfie,
toast...
we're talking later about you're doing some, more commercial songs at the moment.
Yeah.
And but do you watch X Factor and The Voice?
I do. I've seen it. I do watch it a little bit.
Would you
yeah.
be a judge on that? Like Darcy Bustle sort of crossed over into doing Strictly. If they asked you to do it, would you be able to do it, or would it be too...
I don't know.
Would you be too frustrated with the...
Yeah, I don't really know about that. I'd go on as a guest judge for once or twice or something like that, but I don't think I could do it all the time. Because singing's a funny thing. What I really want people to do when they win those sort of programmes is to really sort of extend their vocal life and not just be thrown out into the public and sing their socks off for years and then have no voice. I want them to know how to protect it, how to train the voice, how to make it last a lifetime, not just a few weeks,
Yeah.
And that's a bit frustrating
Gareth
sometimes.
Malone said that last week. He said when he listens to a lot of pop stars sing, he thinks they're ruining their vocal cords because they're stressing them too much. No,
really?
I'm misquoting him a bit there. He said you can sing and look after your vocal cords, so you've got a good career.
There are some fantastic pop singers out there who have a beautiful natural technique. I mean, there is a... it's a style in itself, but I mean, everybody's individual when it comes to their own vocal technique and their own vocal ability. We just have to discover it, and I think that's what I'm saying about these people on X Factor. They have to learn how to discover their voice, how it works, really.
Is that true of all singers, though? So say if you come to the whichever way you actually make it into the public eye, then that's almost a starting point for your voice, allowing it to develop.
I mean, it wasn't my intention to become an opera singer.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, I didn't wake up one morning in Fleetwood in Lancashire and say, hey, I'm going to be an opera singer today, it's going to be great. It wasn't anything like that. It was just... music was music for me, but opera singing and getting into classical music was a way into the business, like you said. But whenever I sing anything other than classical, like pop or blues or rock, I nearly said jazz then, but I don't do jazz. It was basically, I still use the same technique, never changed the way I sing.
While you say that, just a reminder that we're chatting to Alfie Boe later on, and of course all today's Sunday Brunch recipes. Head to the scrapbook, channel4.com/SundayBrunch. There's
a man down. There's a paper down.
That's
a paper down.
Proper tasty, that, isn't it?
Brilliant.
Proper tasty.
After the break, we're meeting a truffle hunter and her hounds and
very nice
to Sarah Beanie. I don't know what happened there. See you soon.
He fell down the stairs behind the counter, Tim.
Welcome back to Sunday Brunch Live. Before we cook with Carl Pilkington, we've had a few more of your tweets in. We're looking for your moans, because we've got Carl and Josh on, who both love a bit of a moan, as does Simon Rimmer, whereas I'm a really happy chappy. He never moans at anything. John moans when his wife Anna says she's made him a bacon sandwich, and it's actually a sausage sandwich. No, that wouldn't be good, would it? That would be awful.
Yeah.
God.
Okay. Yvonne in Southport pulls this face. Can we see his face? Her face.
Oh, right.
Yeah. When people park on the yellow zigzags outside schools. Yes, that's bad.
That's a good one.
That's bad. I don't like it when people park in disabled parking either, and they haven't got the disability.
Fine points on the licence.
Yeah.
What about disabled toilets, though? That's allowed, isn't it?
To go to the toilet.
No? You see, I think you should use it.
Why?
Because if it's empty and it's not being used and you've got to wait,
Yes.
it's roomy.
I
It's
don't
roomy for
know.
them.
Maybe we could have a. Can we put it
It's
to a
not
little
the same as a
vote?
parking space.
We'll go to Twitter now and we'll put it to a little vote whether you're allowed to do that or not. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure. And Ryan in London hates when people check 2 bank cards at the hole in the wall. I don't check my bank details, do you? I do it online now. Jamie in Richmond, this is him and a picture of him. He's in his Carl T-shirt. Look at that T-shirt.
That's a little bit scary, that, Carl.
What is that about?
Nothing to do with me, that. I, honest to God, I get nothing from that.
Have you seen...
Honestly. Has he paid for that, or has he made it?
I don't know. Jamie, has he paid for it? You shouldn't be really using your face like that without giving you a bit of money.
It's not just that, it's pretty horrible.
Yeah. I'll be careful if you see Jamie round about outside your
what's he
house,
doing?
by the way.
He's downstairs waiting.
Yeah.
After the show.
Right. How is your cooking, Carl?
I do a bit if I have to.
Yeah. Apparently your girlfriend went away recently, didn't she? And,
She went away for 2 weeks,
and you got some,
I was emailing her.
You got some pictures, yeah.
Yeah, she left me ingredients
She left you the ingredients.
and like little emails, and it started off. Is it that one there?
That's
Can
good.
we get that?
Can we get that?
Yeah, there
we've
you
got
go. That was
There you
day
go.
one. I did like the
That's
classic
pretty good.
egg, sausage, beans, and chips.
Yeah.
We can go through it. I moved on again. That was the second day. I did a little burger with some veg and mash.
Veg! Veg! No, that's not veg. What was that?
Carrot.
What was that?
What do you mean? What's the
3
veg?
carrots. 4
But hang on. This is what I got to, and I'm really happy with this. Hang on. Look at that one. That's like chicken. Look at the gravy thing. The gravy.
Ah, yes.
Gravy
Well
squiggle.
done, Carl.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I did my first poached egg about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, how did you do it?
How did you poach it?
Put a bit of vinegar in the water, boiled the water first, cracked the egg in. It was I always overdo stuff.
Yeah. What's the odd things you've been eating? What have you eaten recently?
Well, this time round, because Ricky and Steve weren't involved, it wasn't as grim. I actually enjoyed my travels a lot more.
Yeah.
But I had, I don't know if I told you last time, I had dog once by accident.
Yeah.
In China.
Did you tell us that? I think you might have done, but...
It's rank.
Was it?
Yeah. I mean,
Did it taste weird?
Just cheap, like cheap meat. Do you know, like those steaklets you used to get in the 80s? Like thin steaklets.
Yeah.
And you used to smell it before you ate it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It was like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure I could eat dog.
No, I didn't know it was dog.
No,
I didn't
no,
know. I
that's
didn't
not-
order it. They brought it, and it was, they just bring loads of stuff to the table, and I ate it, and then someone went, "Don't eat that," and I'd already had a bit of it.
But could you, if they sat down and said, "This is dog," would you be able to eat it? Because I'm not sure
There's
I
no
could.
need, is there?
Simon, you're a chef, so
Yeah, I reckon-
you'd be intrigued, wouldn't
I
you?
would.
'Cause being
I'd
a
just
chef.
have to try it.
Yeah, I'm not sure I could ever do that.
Yeah. Do you ever think like the amount of life you're wasting? Just no, because like before with the beans, you were messing about for ages, and microwave a minute, and then I can get on with stuff. But you're messing about. It's true though, isn't it?
Yeah, but it is true. But what stuff are you going to get on with?
Yeah.
Well, there must be other stuff that needs doing in the house. It's just I don't get any joy out of it.
This is your thing, Simon. I kind of know where Carl's coming from there.
I mean, I kind of get it. Chili or cucumber?
I don't care. Whatever you want.
I don't mind.
No.
I think it's the expression, Timothy.
Okay,
Don't care.
I'll do the chili.
Chili, right, so nice and finely chopped. Meanwhile, we don't want to overcook this.
I have this knife?
You may
What have you
indeed.
used? No,
So we
you
flip there, look at that, that's what you want. So the sugar caramelizes, and we get that lovely, delicious smell coming off from the sugar.
Now, Carl, you like your weird and wonderful animals, don't you? A bit.
Yeah, I love them. Yeah.
We've got a story for you that broke this week. Researchers at Bangor University have discovered that the oldest animal in the world was 507 years old. It was a clam.
And someone's ate it, haven't they?
No, they didn't eat it, but it's 507 years old. They opened it, managed to get the sort of the age of it, and then sadly, I think it died when they opened it.
Are they the ones that have pearls in?
That's oysters, I think.
Is that part of the same family?
I don't know. Simon,
What was
can you
the
help
question?
us?
Sorry, I'm trying
is
to kind of...
Is a clam the same family as an oyster?
Yes.
It's official then.
But lobsters, I heard the other day that they live forever if you don't kill them.
Lobsters, yeah, I mean, lobsters can live for about 100 years, apparently.
They live forever.
Forever, I heard. If nobody catches it, no one eats it, they carry on living.
Well, they can't die.
They just carry on.
Well, why isn't the planet just filled up with lobsters then?
Because we eat them.
So we're the only thing which is stopping them. Other creatures must eat them as well, no? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty mad, isn't it?
So the only way to die if your lobster is being eaten.
Yeah. How depressing.
This can't be true. This is such nonsense. And there's marine biologists everywhere going, no.
I'll tell you what, maybe not all lobsters. There's a type of lobster and a type of jellyfish that will just carry on living.
But we don't eat jellyfish.
Look, why are you... I'm
they
just
do
telling
in
you
Asia.
a fact.
Yeah, but then why...
Is it a fact, though, Carl Pilkington?
I'm sure, isn't there anyone here who does...
Is there anyone there?
Let's look around.
Honestly.
Steve might know. Steve Baxter might know.
Where's he gone?
Well, he's out the back there. We'll drag him in a minute and see if he knows. I'm hearing in my ear that you might be right.
Right then.
When you Google lobster, the first thing which comes up is immortal.
Right then. Thank you.
I don't believe that.
But it's so ridiculous it could be true. It's like...
Rubbish!
It's so ridiculous. I can see it being true. Or
something lives
Or
forever.
hard to prove.
Because they look old, don't they? They always
Disprove
look old.
Wouldn't you know? If that was true, that would be like one of the first things you were ever taught.
Yes,
that
it would be.
everyone dies except the lobster.
Yeah,
Like, but
how do we turn
they
up
go,
into
no,
lobsters?
Yeah.
Everyone would want to be a lobster.
Someone please let us know, officially, because you're all getting on my nerves.
Then also,
But if it is true...
Worship.
If it is true, then never mind zombie apocalypse films, then lobster apocalypse films would be far more exciting.
All right, then. It doesn't happen.
Steve Baxter has just told us that lobsters live to their 80, and there's a jellyfish called the immortal
You're always going to get the odd
jellyfish.
one who dies, you know, younger. But a lot of them, isn't it?
That's quite a lot younger, 80 to immortal.
And we're talking to Josh Widdicombe as well. See you later.
Ask him.
Welcome back to Sunday Brunch Live. Morning, Gary. We're here with all of today's guests, Carl, Alfie, Sarah and Josh. Is everyone having a good time? Are you enjoying yourself? Did you get to meet the spider in the end, Josh?
no, definitely not. I've got
I did.
Did you like the spider?
Yeah, he made me hold it over there.
Made you?
I said, I don't want to hold your spider, mate.
Sarah, I said I had a long question for you about property. Let's make it short if we can. But the new trend that my friend told me is happening in an area where he lives. People buy old houses to make money. They knock them down. They put these kit houses up, which they can make in 6 months or so. That's a new trend for making money.
Well, it is, and it's because kit houses are getting better and better, and the way they're constructed is. But the more people want them, then the better the quality. But there was a problem with mortgages in this country because we were very traditional in this country, like brick houses with slate roofs, and that's what we've got loads of, and we like to stay that way. But actually, now the mortgage companies and the valuers have accepted that you can build houses out of something else.
You were telling me they crane in loft extensions.
Yeah, and there's this amazing
Seriously,
company
listen.
which was just mind-blowing. We filmed it, actually, on the last series. And they're modular lofts, and they basically build a loft, the whole thing, in a warehouse, somewhere in a kind of, hangar, and then they drive it down the M1, on the back of a lorry, the top of a house. So, including it's painted with all the first fix and second fix wiring. So you've got the sockets in place, got the floor in place. Yeah. I was wondering if you could have a bed with a cat on it asleep. Anyway, so drive it down the motorway, and then they crane it up, and then dump it on the top of the house.
Right.
48 hours later, boom, you've got your house.
Did these people not have a roof until that was craned on?
No, they took it down, and
that
it
is
was
brilliant.
Took it down, and then just.
I love
Isn't that amazing?
I'm not sure about that.
So cool.
Right, we've had
Lego.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But almost more fun.
We've had loads of questions in for Carl this morning. We asked them to send them in, and this is my favourite, I think, so we'll start with this one. This is from Jake Fort, who says, Carl, you're very much like my dad, so tell me what you want for Christmas and I'll get him that. It would help me out a lot.
Well, wouldn't it be your DVD?
Yeah.
That would be a really
That's
good...
true, yeah. I haven't even mentioned that yet. I've been here about an hour.
No, you've been here for 2 hours.
2 hours. DVD out Monday.
Yeah, no.
So you can get that. But I don't know, I mean, you just get them a cookbook, don't you, as well? They're pretty popular.
They are pretty popular.
They're everywhere, then.
I don't know.
They're going to be in
Does anyone want anything for Christmas? We reached that age where we don't care.
Yeah, I really want a meat mincing machine, because when you get leftover beef, I want to turn it into mince.
See, isn't that weird? Because Gareth Malone last week, he got a meat thermometer for his birthday and was really excited about that. I'm quite
It's a meat mincing machine, like one of those things you put in your...
Yeah, when I was a child, there was one, my parents used to clip it to the table and they'd...
Like the Pink Floyd video thing.
A bit like that,
Yeah, it was that, wasn't it?
And I don't know what happened to that, but I was thinking, wouldn't it be brilliant to be able to... Because at the moment, I'm a bit obsessed with not having leftovers, so I chop it up and then I put it in the freezer. So we've got about 3,000 Tupperwares full of chunks of meat in Tupperwares with
Can't you just shove it in the blender? Would that...
Because
So
that
they
goes
could have
to
pressed it down,
mush.
yeah.
It's not so good.
Yeah, you destroy kind of the connective tissue. It makes kind of glue rather than kind of mince.
It's a very festive
I wonder-
present, though, isn't it?
Now, Sarah, there's lots of men out there thinking, I'm going to buy my wife or girlfriend a meat grinder. That's what
Yeah, she'll
girls
be
like.
happy. Smile.
A lot of happy women out there.
It's food-based now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is all food-based. Yeah, we're obsessed with eating.
That's why everyone's fat, isn't it?
I've been doing it every day for years.
That's all the time. If you're not watching it, we've been talking about it.
Yeah.
There's a book for it.
Yeah.
There's
This is
cooking
There
programmes.
is, yeah, this is one.
I know, we should cut down.
I think you come on the wrong show to complain.
No, but seriously, it's kind of like, come on.
It's right, because you can also get DVDs to watch while you're cooking. Like these guys.
We need to move on. Simon, we need to move on.
Promotion of the
I'm thinking I'm doing it for you.
Alfie Boe, who no doubt will be plugging something as well. Here's a look at this week's Was It Something I Said.
No one even knows I'm here, and it's cold.
That was Something I Said, which is on tonight, Channel 4, 10 o'clock. And don't forget, you can head to the 40D if you miss it. That is your album,
It is.
which you're plugging, and we will be talking about that in just a few minutes' time. But before we do that...
Can I ask you one thing?
Yeah.
I've been on this show a few times.
Yeah.
How come this time you've got meat being cooked, you've got desserts? How come I got stuck with baked beans on toast?
Yes, Simon.
Well,
yes, Simon.
after your performance last time, Alfie, when you kind of let yourself down in the kitchen, you know, we had to kind of do
I
something.
said I'd
simple.
come and chop some mushrooms. I'd show you my skills. I've been practicing. I have, man. I do.
you do the
I can do the fast chopping now. I can do.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you making that
No,
up?
I can honestly.
All
I've
right,
been
we'll get you
practicing
to
for a
do
year.
something. In a minute,
We'll get a
you
mushroom
to
and
do-
chopping
we're
board
gonna-
sorted out for you.
We're going to see that.
Hey, ready.
Now, before we get into your song singing, let's talk about your acting,
Oh,
because
thank you,
you've been
yeah.
doing a bit of acting, haven't you? You're in.
I have.
You're in Mr. Selfridge,
Yeah,
which we
yeah.
haven't seen yet. It's not been. There you are. There's a picture of you.
That's it.
How did that go?
I loved it. I loved every single minute of it. I've not really done that much screen acting in the past, but when I went on there, I thought it was going to be a real cool role I was going to play, like a Mr. Darcy type, you know. Get to wear a big white puffy shirt, jump into a lake, swim through it, get out all wet on the other side.
Yeah.
And I ended up
Boy
dressed
band
up like that,
Yeah.
dressed up like a tramp at Wilton's Music Hall. That was it, that was me, that was my role. It was
Wait.
great, though. I loved it, it was wonderful.
Are you going to act more?
Would I, what, sorry?
Are you going to act more?
Yeah, I'd like to. I mean, acting's always been a part of the job that I've
Yeah,
done anyway, in opera and in Les Mis, obviously, but I would like to do a bit more screen acting if I could. You know, it's a world I really want to try and investigate, if I can.
How does it work, though? I went to see an opera the other week, and you look at it, and there is acting as well as singing.
Yeah.
You do get chosen firstly for your singing, or do you really have to
I think
be able to do both?
No, I think the primary thing is the singing, you know, with opera.
So if there was someone who could sing but couldn't act, would they still give them the role?
Probably.
Yeah.
Because it happens.
Tim was critiquing them.
Yeah. Sorry, who's...
Tim was critiquing them.
Yeah. We're not singing along either.
I tried to sing along, everyone shushed me. I don't know. I said, I know the tune to this one, it's on an advert.
We've sung on the show today. It's time for you, man. You've got to do something now.
Yeah.
Moving on.
There you go.
Very quickly to your... let's talk about your new album called Trust. What's the theme behind this one?
Well, it's... some people are saying it's very different of an album that I'm doing, but to be honest, it's not. It's not. I mean, the music that I'm singing is good music, great songs, and they all sit side by side with the stuff I've done in the past. You know, these are songs that slot into my live show that next to an operatic aria or a musical theatre song. It has a bit of an Americana sort of feel to it. There's lots of different colours and flavours and feels in there. I mean, when people talk about an album, they always talk about the overall sound of an album. But for me, I like to talk about the feel that you get from it, what it makes you feel, what it stimulates, you know, the emotions that it sends out to you while you're listening to the songs. And that, to me, is more important, when you go to an opera, it's how it makes you feel. And when you listen to an album, it's how it makes you feel, whatever type of music it is.
I actually laughed in the opera.
Did you?
Yeah, because but purposely.
Right.
But the music made me laugh. I just thought it was really funny when they started doing this little bit, and I was like, that's really funny. And I thought, that is so bizarre how I'm getting affected by just sound like that.
My last performance at the Royal Opera House was in a production called Romeo and Juliet, and one of the cast members said, I bet you 20 quid that on this scene, on this movement that I had, this move across stage, you wouldn't do a John Wayne walk. And I did, man. I was like stood at the front of the stage and it sang my line, and then I did this John Wayne walk right across the front.
That's a good wall.
That is a good right across the front of the stage, and I never asked back again.
Right, let's have a look at you singing. You've Got a Friend off the album. There you go.
Thank you.
Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. You got a friend.
Was the album your idea?
Well, we've got a, you know, we come to an agreement to make another album with the record company and management and stuff, and then you just sort of sit around the table and find the concept, the music that you want to sing. There's a couple of new tracks on there as well, original tracks, so you just sort of piece together the songs that work well together, the songs that suit your voice, and then it just materializes. They said, we're going to record this album in America, we're going to do it in LA. So I went over to Santa Monica, sat in the studio, started working with fantastic musicians. Booker T from Booker T and the MGs was playing Hammond on it. Lee Sklar from Toto, John Hackett from Little Feat. It was crazy, man. It was wonderful, wonderful band of musicians. But then I thought, we're going to do the photo shoot in LA as well. You know, we're going to be on the golden sands, blue sky, blue sea, golden beach, and everything. It's going to be beautiful. Berry. That's who we did it. An old abandoned train. No, I love Berry. I love Berry.
We all love Berry.
Oh, absolutely. Berry's beautiful.
And with Black Pudding.
It's in your top 3 places to visit in the country.
Yeah, Santa Monica or Berry.
Yeah.
But no, the album came together. It's got a real good feel about it, and it's doing all right. I'm loving it. Loving singing that music now. It's great.
Excellent. We're going to maybe get you to do a bit of shopping for us.
Can I do that?
Well, yeah, why not?
We'll get you to do that. Just randomly, why not? After the break, Tim and I in the kitchen making perfect Sunday dish, chicken pie. See you soon.
Hey.
Welcome back to Sunday Brunch Live. We're still joined by all our guests who are sitting there enjoying their morning, having a lovely cup of tea or coffee. Simon, we've got some pictures today?
Always would like to see what you cook. This is Emma in Cheshire tucking into the blueberry pancakes from last week. That's a good picture.
I like that picture. It's animated.
You want more of that, Tim?
Yes.
OK, more animated pictures from now on, if you wouldn't mind, people. Juliet made
emotions, that's what we want. Emotions in the picture. That looked like I'm hungry. We need those.
What does the food make you feel like?
Yes,
as
that's
Alfie would say
it.
about his
That's
songs.
it. What are you feeling? Yes.
This is a great one. This is Juliet. She made the puff rice millionaire bars and made loads of cash for children in need.
Good. Very
So
good.
that's emotion. You can see
that's
she's
good.
happy.
She's smiling. Yes.
Lovely, they look beautiful. Finally, Tom in London had the pork pibble mini tacos that... beautiful.
Oh, see, that's it. That's an action
Now
shot. I like
is
that.
very good. Thomasina made those last
yeah.
week. They were superb.
Okay, good. Right, so what are we cooking?
Tim, we're going to make a chicken pie. This is the time of year. I love it. When we get into cold weather, it makes me want to have comfort food. I want comfort food all the time, to be honest. So we've got onions cooking away in the pan. We cook those down nice and slowly, so we're getting lots of sweetness in them. Mushrooms, carrot, butter, peas, bit of flour, bit of stock, bit of red wine. Chicken that we've cooked and we've shredded it out, OK? So what we do, we have a little bit of this that we stir around, keep it nice and slow on the cook there. Meanwhile, we're going to do it as a plate pie, Tim. So rather than it being like any big container...
Oh, metal plate.
Metal plate, which are always kind of good. Getting a bit cool these days as well. Yeah.
When you're in Cubs or Scouts. Were you in Cubs or Scouts?
Neither. You?
Yes, 5th Ricky.
You 5th Ricky?
Yes. I was, APL, I think. What do they call that?
I don't
System?
know. I didn't really like it.
Didn't you?
No.
Why not?
I didn't like the institutionalisation of it.
Yeah.
I felt that it was
yeah.
kind of keeping the working classes down, so I thought they should enjoy it.
That did occur to me.
Yeah.
But they had a football team, and I wanted to play football.
Yeah,
so.
and also there was one near our house.
Wasn't there?
No.
No.
Yeah.
We did proper camping where you had to dig holes and, you know, have lats and all that sort of stuff.
Holes and lie in them, or dig holes and
Dig holes to go to the toilet in and stuff.
Oh!
Yeah, because other troops near us, the ones in Chorley Wood, the rivals,
right,
they used to go to ready-made campsites with toilets, whereas we had to dig our own holes and stuff like that.
Of course, and most importantly, you know where the Boy Scout movement began, don't you? Birkenhead.
Did it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There you go.
Learn something every day. Right.
None of it useful. Right, so here's our pastry. Made a short crust pastry. What we do, Tim, cut that in half and roll... well, we want 2 circles, really. One for the bottom, one for the top. So a bit of flour on the board. And then, before you start rolling, just to make your life easier, just squash it so it gets down to that kind of size like that. And then roll out, and we need it to be so we can cut a circle. 2 circles, really. One out of that piece, one out the other piece. One for the base and one for the top. OK?
What sort of thing is this? Dough?
What kind of what? Sorry?
What is it? What are we doing?
We do a
Shortbread?
chicken plate pie.
Yeah, but what is this?
This short crust pastry.
Short crust, that's the word I'm looking
So
for.
be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more controlled. Concentrate a little bit more on the job in hand, Timothy.
OK. Don't you laugh.
Tim found all of his old school reports a while ago.
Oh, thanks for bringing that up.
and confessed that, like, every single kind of school report said, could try harder, gets easily distracted, a little bit of disruptive influence.
Yeah, look at me now, I'm on telly. Apart from my sports ones, which always said I tried very hard.
And geography, you said, you proudly said this morning.
Yeah, but I blame the teachers, not me. I was a child, I didn't know what I was doing. The teachers should have taken me to one side and maybe been a little bit tougher with me.
It's funny, our producer of the gallery is saying exactly the same thing right now, Tim. Right, so we have to cut round that and then do exactly the same thing with the other pie as well.
Well, how was your school report? Were you great?
I think I was all right. You know, I think I was kind of one of those kids that just sort of hid in the middle a little bit, really.
Square.
It's nice when your friends are still alive on national telly, isn't it? I don't know if I was... I just think I quite liked school, if I'm honest.
I like school.
I mean, I think unfortunately...
every day.
I think unfortunately it wasn't particularly cool to be clever, whereas my daughter's school was cool to be clever, and I like that.
That's the problem sometimes with education,
you want to be cool.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Roll that one out as well, Tim.
Right. Okay.
Exactly the same thing. And then... So what is it?
That wasn't teamwork, was it? That really wasn't.
One is a base on the top. Now, what we need in this, so we have our onions there. We need some mushrooms. If only we had someone who could chop mushrooms properly for us, Tim.
Who's the mushroom? Yes, here he is. He's learned how to
Go on,
chop.
you both said before.
Now, can I just ask you, could you be careful of your fingers
Yes,
whilst doing
of course.
this?
From left. OK.
Yeah.
I'll do them half like that first.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Hey, you've done well there.
That's brilliant, isn't it? OK.
Yeah, so you...
I'll do the other small
That is great.
slower, yeah.
If you could.
That is pretty impressive, that.
And is mushroom, is that your signature chop? Or
That's
do you have
it,
any
I
other
can't do
chopping that
anything
you
else.
do as well?
You should be like the opera, just keep coming back for more applause. They're not modest, that lot, are they?
No,
How many times do they have to come back on for an applause? It's
It's
unbelievable,
crazy.
isn't it?
I know, it is
It's like
ridiculous.
6 or 7 times.
I know, they're always trying to shut the curtains on them, but they still get through the middle.
But they keep doing it like that. It's like, yes, we've said you're good, go away.
Is there an etiquette for it, though? You know, are there a certain number of applause that you're supposed to get or you're supposed to do for good luck?
Well, every cast member gets like their own individual bow, and then they have like one group bow. Then there's the conductor, then there's the director, then there's the lady that sells the ice cream.
It is. Does no one ever go, maybe this is overkill?
Yeah, so
you never sound like
the opera was 5 hours long, and you're making us sit through this.
That's how I felt, yeah.
Right, Alfie, that's fine.
Is that all right? Cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
Veggie moment, get
Brilliant.
it.
Yes.
So we have the onions in there, we have the carrot in there, we have the mushrooms in there, and we cook this nice and slowly. So this is our filling. Okay. Now, Tim, cut that one out. So we have one for the top, one for the bottom. When you cut that one out, press it into the base of the plate. So that's going to be 1/2 of our pie. Okay. Right. So we cook this, we cook this, we cook this. Once these are soft, then what we do, crank the heat up. We sprinkle on a little bit of flour onto there. And we cook that out for 2 or 3 minutes. It's important, Tim, that we cook the flour out, as you well know.
Yes.
Don't cook the flour out, you get that horrible kind of floury taste.
Like that, press it in like that.
Beautiful.
Do you like the opera, Simon?
Never been.
Haven't you?
To the opera.
I've only been twice. And
I think the thing is for me,
I don't really understand what's going on.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with
Did
you.
you see?
And you're in it.
I'd sit knowingly, I think. I think I would. Get a little bit nodding.
But the talent on display is phenomenal, isn't it?
Yes.
The vocal talent is. That's. You know, I'm always impressed by people who can do things well, and it's just. That is incredible.
To be honest with you, I think one of the reasons why I'm always a little bit adverse to it is that when I was a kid, my sister used to do ballet. It reminds me of being dragged to see my sister.
I really
in
like the
dreadful ballet. Yeah, but when you're a 9-year-old boy and you want to play football and you're watching your 12-year-old sister dance badly. Oh, actually, no, Jane, you're a fantastic dancer. it's really, really...
I tell you what, Christmas is going to be hard work this year, isn't it?
And she's doing Christmas this year.
dinner.
Yeah, and she's doing Christmas this year as well.
Oh, no. Yeah. She'll be spitting in your...
I'll sit at home. I'll have a little meal for one. Right, so we cook all this. The flour we cook out. Then we add wine and stock, and we bring it up to the boil, cook it out for sort of 5, 6, 7 minutes or so. It will thicken. The flour will make it nice and thick. Let it go cold. That's important. This is what we end up with. Then, Tim, pop all of that chicken in there, which is cooked, and mix it all together.
OK.
Okay, so you've got the really nice base for filling there, and we've got the short crust pastry. I'm in such trouble with my family now. I just sense it. So what you get is this lovely filling here. Pop that in there, Tim, and then we simply pop the other bit on top. Now it looks, Tim, oh, this looks a little dry, and it looks like there's too much. That's exactly what you're thinking, isn't it?
Yes.
But when it heats up, then that will start to break down. All of the liquid will come back in. We pop that in. It's important then that you pop that round like so. Egg wash all over it, which we don't have time for, and then press down. Don't press and drag, just press, which will bring it together. If you press and drag, then you'll ruin the edge of it. Loads and loads of egg wash on top of it. We bake this for about 40 minutes or so. We end up with this. That is a pie. Then, with it, we've got cabbage, good veggies, and we've got a little sweet potato that we've baked. Rather than having just a normal potato, and to serve that, we cut the top off, we cut the bottom off. We squash that down, like that. We put a little cross in the top, and we pop our butter in there, so that will all begin to melt, which will look rather delightful. We have some lovely cabbage that we fried off. Then we cut. It's a little tall, that, isn't it? It's like a Dalek. Hold on. There we go, that was better. And then we cut a wedge of our pie, like that, and then we scoop it out. Look, so now you get it nice and moist in the middle. Beautiful. And the red wine, surprisingly, you would think that that wouldn't work with our pastry and our chicken, but it does. OK, so...
Alfie, you've got to come over and try this, because you...
Carl said it looked like Stonehenge when you put that.
So what you get, I mean, it's proper comfort food.
You know, you've got the cabbage, which is delicious. Chicken, the veggies, the red wine in there, the mushrooms give it that nice kind of earthy taste. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, you can do it with lamb, you can do it with beef, you can do it with chicken, whatever you fancy doing. It's the whole thing about the veggies, then you have the meat there. And let it go cold. Crucial. Cool. For all of today's recipes, head to the scrapbook, channel4.com/Sunday brunch.
After the break, drinking with Rebecca, and we're having a good old moan with Carl Pilkington. See you in a minute. Look at this. Can we see the Look at those animal. Wow. Is that animal print? Is it zebra? Brilliant. Is that zebra?
Yeah.
I want those so.
Steve Backman's got those in his house. You know Steve's got those in his house.
Does that add value to the house?
I think, yeah, no, definitely.
So, first things first, young Mr. Widdicombe, what I need you to do is crack these 3 eggs into the bowl like that.
OK, I'm not very good at cracking eggs, but how difficult can it be?
It's not that difficult at all. People have done it for years all over the world.
Well, don't put the pressure on, mate.
And
yeah, a bit more. I think just a bit more confidence.
A bit more confidence.
Yeah, I think a bit more aggressive.
You ready?
Yeah. Yes, that's it.
think of it like, you know, something that you've written that you think it's kind of all right, but, you know, you need that bit of confidence from the audience.
OK, you ready? This is the big one.
Yeah.
Look at that.
See?
Very good.
Straight on it. And then whisk it up. OK?
Yep.
So, the thing when you make a Swiss roll, what's important is you need to get lots of volume in there, because you want it to be...
Whoa.
You want it to be really light.
You don't have to stand quite so far away, Lovejoy.
Really light and really fluffy.
Shall I have the speed? No.
Well, to be honest with you, it's not, apart from splashing you, it's not going to do any harm whether it's fast
That's
or whether
what I
it's
care
slow.
about most.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we have. I mean, we've ruined a few outfits in our time.
Yeah. So that's going to be my follow-up DVD.
I mean, the thing
Widdicombe Whisks live at Hammersmith Apollo.
That's right. And then what we do, tip the flour in, and then fold the flour in. Now, you can do
I don't know what that means.
So basically, what you want is, you want to come round the edge and in like that. So it's quite, it's quite a bold movement. Yeah. And as we taught Ollie Mers, when you do this, you have to kind of dip the knees a little bit when you do it. That's kind of quite crucial.
So I just follow the Ollie Mers technique?
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
I've never seen Gordon Ramsay doing this, I'm not going to lie to you.
You never hear about people talk about a Swiss roll either, do you? Let's be honest, you know.
No, but, you know, at least I make a Swiss roll rather than someone how to make baked beans.
It stops you pulling something as well.
Yeah, this is... I'm going to...
warm up.
I think I might recommend this. This will be my third DVD of the workout.
Yeah. This could be on the extras. Yeah, it's good.
I think this has become a YouTube phenomenon, this.
Yeah. OK, so... then what we do...
Shall I go faster?
That's beautiful.
Simon, can you please remind me what we're making? Because I've forgotten.
Timothy, we're making a Swiss roll.
Swiss roll, that's right.
We're making old school 1970s Swiss roll. So this is looking a bit kind of squitty and a little bit kind of a little bit pathetic. Yeah. When you make something, because it will be voluminous.
Yeah.
No one wants to have a snuffle of that. Snaffle.
No one would have a little snaffle of that.
Snaffle of that.
No, everyone would
of that. Did we find out if that's a real word? It's a real word.
It's a real word.
It's a real word. You're like Shakespeare.
Can't believe you doubted me, Timothy.
Yeah.
Can't believe. So, we cook that.
Yeah.
It doesn't take long. It takes 10 minutes.
It's a real slang word. So it's not a real word.
Does that matter?
No.
A snaffle is a horse's bit. I'm being fed this all down my ear. I'm not just inventing it in my head.
Are you Wikipedia?
It's a horse's bit, so that's where it comes from. There you go.
But a horse's bit is a real thing.
Yeah, that is a real thing, yes. I can
so it's a slang word for a horse's bit?
Yes.
So I'm saying you can have a bit of it, which is about right, isn't it?
Yes.
Which is maybe where it comes from. OK, what an interesting show this has been today. So,
this has been my favourite interview ever. Paxman never does that, does it?
Yeah. Doesn't feel like an interview.
I can feel that steely cold BAFTA in my hand now.
Doesn't seem to be a lot of questions going on.
So, now what we do. So, here's the thing. Here's our other interesting fact for you. We're going to roll this short edge to long, which makes it a Swiss roll. If we were going to roll the long edge to short, that makes it a roulade.
Oh, that is good.
And you can do whatever you want to do with it.
Do you know why it's called a Swiss roll? I don't, by the way. I'm not. Do you know why it is?
It's to do with the angle at which the cream goes in is reminiscent of the Alps in Switzerland.
Yeah. So no. Then.
No, I've no idea. Absolutely no idea.
I was about to go. That's the most interesting thing I've heard all morning.
And then, same
with the cream.
Same again. We roll it out, and this is where it gets kind of pretty sexy when the cream and the jam start getting together, and it's looking like, oh, that is proper old school. Okay. So then,
No mushrooms chopped. We're all right for this.
and then what we do, whatever you fancy on here, we've got some little marshmallows. It's nice with a bit of meringue in there to get a bit of crunch, and then we have
Marshmallows?
Yeah.
I've even gone up a key.
Sounded like Josh. That we do your impression of him.
I'll have that, thank you.
Why are you putting marshmallows in there?
Right now,
So I like to be tidy, Simon.
He just ignores me.
I kind of
Everyone at home's going, what on earth are marshmallows doing in there?
living the dream, Tim. So everyone wants to snaffle it. That's why. So we roll that up, and don't worry when you do your Swiss roll later on. It will crack.
OK.
That is the nature of the Swiss roll. OK, look at that. I mean, that is.
Do you know what, Simon? This is the bit I want to eat.
Yeah.
It's all yours.
Just all
so we
goodness.
have Swiss roll. We dust
Shallow.
with icing sugar.
Oh my
We
word.
sit all of that.
Guys, would you like to
around
start
there.
making your way over?
Come over. I will
Thank
slice.
you very much. Simon's going to start slicing this, and whilst he's slicing that, I'm going to tell you that all of today's recipes, if you want to have a look at them and have a go, you need to go to our Sunday Brunch scrapbook, channel4.com/Sunday Brunch. Now, I would like you to all try this and see if you think it is as delightful as it looks.
Have a little snaffle on it.
Especially like you to tell me what you think of the marshmallows.
I think
Your tweet, Carl, by the way, has had 1,000 retweets, which is exceptional. So there you go, you're popular. Why don't you get on Twitter? The public want it. We demand it. We demand you're on Twitter.
No chance.
We demand it.
service.
You have to do it.
happening.
You're letting us down.
Not bothered.
Good, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think?
Yeah.
Marshmallows?
I don't
Very
know.
good.
You need the marshmallows.
You
there.
don't need the marshmallows.
overkill.
Oh, he likes it. All right. Thanks to all our guests on today's show, Rudimental, Carl, Josh, Alfie, Sarah and Steve. Joining us on next Sunday's show, comedian Sean Locke, Fresh Meat stars Charlotte Ritchie and Greg McHugh. Actress turned foodie Lisa Faulkner, Chef Lorraine Pascal, plus the Manic Street Preachers will be performing live. So that's going to be an exciting show.
Another
Looking
full
forward
one.
to that.
Oh,